the IPL 2025 mega auction has commenced, and we have some interesting players and interesting teams here. The squads are ready, the unsold players are waiting for their chance. Everything will be discussed in this video. Each team's squad, each team's starting 11 will look like, unsold players, what were the best players of the team, and who actually deserved the money. Everything will be discussed, so make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Starting off, we have the top buys section. Now we'll talk about the top 10 buys actually, and we will rate them, was it deserving out of 5. Now Rishabh Pant base price was 2 crores. Now the winning bid was 27 crores. Basically, he would have gone for 20.5 crores if it wasn't for LSG changing their RTM from 20.5 crores to 27, which was mad in my opinion. Out of 5, I would say that's a 3. I think Rishabh Pant should have gone for like 20 or 23. Let's see how he performs. This is just off of my opinion. I don't know anything for certain here. Anything can happen in the season. It's IPL, obviously. So, in my opinion, I think this is a 3 out of 5. It really just depends on how the player plays in that season, because he is a good T20 player. He's a good captain. He's a good wicket keeper. He's a good decision maker. LSG probably saw captain in him, a replacement to KL Rahul, and I do feel like it's kind of worth it, but at the same time, it maybe feels like they overpaid for him. Next, Shreyas Iyer. Now, Shreyas Iyer, 26.75 crores. I really do not think is worth it for Shreyas Iyer. He's really not that good of a player. He's like more of an ODI and test player. Again, only my opinion. He can prove me wrong. I would love to see any of these players prove me wrong. I would see all of them prove me wrong. However, though, I do feel like this is not that worth of a signing. I feel like he should have gone for 18 to 19 crores max, but like 27.75 was absolutely mad. And I'm pretty sure they didn't even have to fight off against the RTM with KKR because they have 0 RTMs. So I feel like even with DC and KKR raising their prices like in the auction with BBKs, they had to buy him for 26. Otherwise, I think even PBKs would go for 18 for Shreyas Iyer. So I think this is honestly a 2.75. It's not really that bad because, again, a good captain, a pretty good batsman, and I would probably say the best attribute of Shreyas Iyer is that he has a winning mentality. That DC took DC to the final. They almost won. They didn't win because of a duo that I will mention later. And the 2024 IPL, as we just saw, he was captain of KKR, who won their 3rd IPL. Now let's go on to Venki Iyer, who sold for 23.75. KKR here. That is a bold. Now I know Venki Iyer is a great player. He has played really nicely. He has got 1 century at number 5. He has done really well in the past few seasons, but 23.75, maybe a bit too much. I think this is one of my more bolder ratings. I would say this is a 3.75 to 3.5 because Venki Iyer is a really, really great player in my opinion. I rate him a lot because he has done well against the good teams. He has done well against MI. He has got a century against MI. He's done well against CSK. He's done well against SRH, against RCB. And all of them he has done well against. He has a good stat against most of the teams. So I think this is one of my bolder ratings, as I said. So this is gonna be... it's a bold rating, but 3.5 to 3.75. I'll give him the 3.75. Number 4, Arshdeep Singh, RTM. Now, 18 crores is probably worth him, but like the drama they made before made me like unexcited for this signing because Arshdeep was like, I'm really sad that PBKs didn't retain me. This just felt like a big drama to me. However, though, 18 crores, very worth it, maybe even more. Arshdeep Singh sold to PBKs, a really good signing in my opinion. I'll give this a 4.5. Next, one of the more crazier ones, Yuzvendra Chahal for 18 crores. That is mad for Yuzvendra Chahal, the highest paid spinner here. Now I feel like, again, this is a really, really good signing. He is pretty old, but I do feel like he's worth every bit of that money. Yes, I said it, worth every bit of that money. He is a really good player, consistent, highest wicket taker for India in T20 eyes, along with Arshdeep Singh, who's probably going to overtake him in a few more matches of T20 eyes. So I feel like Yuzvendra Chahal is a really, really good signing, and I'm going to give it a 4. Next, Josh Butler to GT. This was a really, really good signing in my opinion. Really nice value, because Josh Butler, in his prime, he's a really, really, really good player. As we saw in that 2022 RR season, he scored 5 centuries, I'm pretty sure. Even though they lost in the final, he was the sole really, really good batsman in that team, in my opinion. Now, you also might say that in his bad seasons, he's been really, really stupidly getting a lot of ducks, getting a lot of everything. But I think that cancels out for the good seasons he has. Hopefully, he has a good season this year, and I'm giving this a 4. Next is KL Rahul. Now, oh boy, is this gonna be a bold? It's probably gonna be really unpopular, but I feel like the KL Rahul signing was really, really good. Now, I'm not talking about the player, I'm talking about the price here. 14 crores for a player like KL Rahul, the person who has the amount of potential of KL Rahul. Now, you might say that KL Rahul nowadays in T20s is not good. However, this is the man who scored a half century in 13 balls. He has that thing in him. He just never shows it for some reason. And I feel like this season is a breakthrough for classic KL Rahul. Now, I feel like he will use his potential this season, and I feel like he will be really, really, really good this season. Hopefully he comes back into form even with India in the BGT, which the video has probably come by now. Go watch it. He's done really well in the first test, so let's see what happens. I'm really excited for KL Rahul. That's why I'm giving him the 4.5 straight up. Now, this 8th one. Remember, I said Shreyas Iyer 2020, he lost the final because of a duo. Now, that duo includes 2 people, Bolt and Bumrah. Now, you all might know by now, or if you don't know, I support MI. I support Mumbai Indians, and I feel like this is the best signing they could have made, because Bolt and Bumrah, they were really, really good together. I mean, if you saw in the 2020 DC final, we absolutely demolished them 20 for 4. I'm pretty sure they managed to get a score of 150, but I feel like Trent Bolt is a great addition to the team, along with Deepak Chahar, who's been added to the team for 9 crores. I feel like this will be dangerous for MI this season. They might finish above 10th this time. They'll probably finish in the top 4 in my opinion. The IPL prediction video will come later on because it's still really early. We can't really tell. The trades have to happen too. So yeah. 9th is Jofra Archer. He is back at RR. Now, most people know Jofra for his bowling. For me, I know him for his batting. He is the first time I watched Jofra Archer was his batting, and he batted really well. He scored like 30 runs. I'm pretty sure he scored 5 sixes one time, which was really fun to see. And his bowling is also remarkable. Everybody knows Jofra Archer, his relation with the Grey Nicholas helmet and the ball. I'm just joking. However, I think Jofra Archer is also a really good signing. By the way, I forgot to give Trent Bolt a rating. I'll give him 4.5. And for Jofra Archer, I'll give him a 3.75. Because he's older, maybe I deducted 1.25. He's probably past his prime. But you know Jofra Archer, he can probably regain it in due time. Next is Josh Hazelwood for 12.5 crores. Here's where a bit of iffiness comes in. Because firstly, Siraj actually went for the almost the same price, and secondly, why didn't RCB RTM Siraj? There was no point in buying Hazelwood when you have Siraj. However, we're talking about Hazelwood here, not Siraj, and RCB's management issues. We're only talking solely about Hazelwood, and I think this is an average signing at most. I think RCB's other signings were actually better, like getting Tim David for 3 crores was probably good. Rasik Dar Salam, even though a little overpaid, he's a really good talent. And Josh Hazelwood for 12.5. I'd say this is one of the lower ones, because Josh Hazelwood is not only a test bowler, but I do feel like he will do good in T20s, and for that I'm giving a 3.25. Now, you might say that's too low, you might say that's too high, and you probably will disagree with all my ratings, but feel free to post your ratings in the comments below, because I read all of your comments. I give a reply to all of your comments. I try to do my best in doing that. So let's move on to the next section, which is going to be the unsold players. Normally, unsold players will contain some small names as well as maybe one or two big names, but this is the mega auction, so most of the players will go unsold, and there is a lot of shocking names in this list here. Firstly, David Warner, in my opinion, the second best player of the IPL behind Virat Kohli, went unsold along with Johnny Bairstow and Kane Williamson, which were the backbone of the SRH's batting in 2019-2020, that period. However, I feel like that is a big hit for the entire IPL, because David Warner, man, he was such a good player. Next big names probably include Daryl Mitchell, Shardul Thakur maybe, and Adil Rashid going unsold kind of shook me, because Adil Rashid, I mean, he was a wanted spinner by many teams, I thought. One more thing that hit me was Steve Smith and Matt Henry. Matt Henry being a really good bowler and Steve Smith being Steve Smith. And one more unsold that hit me was Jimmy Anderson's unsold. Now, I know that he's old, he probably doesn't care about this, even though he cares, he probably achieved a lot in his life. But come on, man, a guy who wanted to play IPL even at the old age of 43 after retiring from Test, I think it was probably worth it for some teams, like maybe even MI or CSK, or even like any team to get them was probably a good option. I mean, he's probably better as a coach at this point, but having a pace monster who can also be a mentor was probably a good option, and nobody wanted to go for that. Another one that probably some people thought about was Sarfaraz Khan getting unsold, and the one I thought about was Saurav Netravalkar getting unsold. He did really good at the T20 World Cup. I thought somebody would get him for like even 30 lakhs, somebody would pick him up easily, but I felt like whoever picked him up would probably be a steal, and nobody picked him up. Another big name missing was Prithvi Shaw. Now, this man was named the next Sachin, and now he's dropped from Ranji and unsold in the IPL, which is really unfortunate for him. He is a great player. I feel like he can continue his greatness, but getting unsold was probably not the best move. He should have probably been bought. I'm pretty sure he went for 1.25 crores, and I felt like maybe he should have been bought by any team. I felt pretty bad for him actually. So hopefully all of these players come back in the next IPL season, and all of the unsold players, hopefully some of them, few of them, the majority of them probably will go unsold next year, but hopefully some players like David Warner who have quality, or like Kane Williamson, should probably get in next year. Hopefully they do. And now let's go into this section where I'll name two good buys from each franchise, two of the best buys from each franchise in IPL, starting from CSK. For CSK, my two are Sam Curran and Noor Ahmed. Noor Ahmed because he's a direct replacement to Mitchell Satner, and he's a really good spinner. He's a direct replacement to Tiksana as well. And Sam Curran is because he is a monster in CSK colours. He does really well in every game in CSK colours, and he really needed a comeback in my opinion. And only getting him for 2 crore 40 was really good. Next, Delhi Capitals. Now, in my opinion, for Delhi Capitals, it's Jace Fraser McGurk and T. Natarajan. KL Rahul comes third and Mitchell Stark comes fourth. But T. Natarajan, in my opinion, comes first because he is capped, but he played like for India a few years ago. However, though, he is a really good bowler who actually went in contention for the purple cap last year, has international experience. As I said, he's capped, only play a few games though. That's still a bit of experience and really good addition to the bowling attack. And he's a direct replacement to both Mukesh and Khalil. And he's a great addition alongside Mitchell Stark. Even Mukesh Kumar came back, so their pace attacks looks really good along with Mohit Sharma. And Jake Fraser McGurk was last season shining light for them. Destroyed Bumrah himself. He made him go for 18 overs. Bumrah normally goes for 6. I feel like Jake Fraser McGurk was one of the best things they could have, best guys they could have RTM'd. Next, Gujarat Giants. Now, I would say two people and two people only. Gerald Coetzee and Josh Butler. Now, the reason I'm not going Siraj Rabada, Washington Sundar is because they were probably expected to join, except Siraj because RCB didn't RTM him. But Josh Butler and Gerald Coetzee were pulled out of nowhere because Josh Butler was probably expected to go to like MIPBKS or something, and unexpectedly pulls Josh Butler for only up to 16 crores. And then you also have Gerald Coetzee, who you only got for 2.4 crores. He's a really good bowler. He can also bat at number 9, which is a really good quality. Also, one good buy I feel like should be Ravi Sai Kishore. I mean, the reason I'm saying this is because Sai Kishore is a really underrated spinner in my opinion. I rate him a lot. He's really good. I've seen him play in a few matches. He's done good spin. He has good economy and wickets not so much, but I feel like it is still good. Next, we're going to talk about Kolkata Knight Riders, who in my opinion had the worst auction because they spent most of their money on Venkatesh Iyer for 23.75. I really don't think that was worth it. However, the two best buys in my opinion were Quinton de Kock and Ajinkya Rahane. Now you might think, Ajinkya Rahane? Isn't he old? Isn't he like bad? Well, after having a revival at CSK, I think this is the best place for Ajinkya Rahane to go except CSK. Now, I'm pretty sure Ajinkya Rahane has played for Kolkata before. I have no idea. Even if it's a new coming for him, I feel like it's a very good buy for just 1.5 crores. Now, Moeen Ali, the reason I said this is because, again, experienced English spinner and goes alongside Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti. Bowls a few overs, can bat really well. He's versatile in the batting order. Really good quality player in my opinion. Two more good signings in my opinion were Quinton de Kock and Ankush Raghuvanshi. Raghuvanshi getting for 3 crores and Quinton de Kock only getting for 3.6 crores. Very quality player in my opinion. Now, let's go on to the Lucknow Super Giants. In my opinion, the two best buys of this team were David Miller and one unexpected one in your opinion, Shamar Joseph. Now, Shamar Joseph, I would probably say is a future talent for Lucknow Super Giants. The point of the mega auction is to secure your future for the next 3 years. And I think Shamar Joseph is a really good option for that. Along with David Miller, who's a really good finisher, can slot in into that middle order alongside Puran and Pant, which will be really dangerous LSG this year. And I think it is overall just a good sign. Both are good signings. Other than that, a few more are good signings too. But like mostly Shamar Joseph and David Miller in my opinion. Next are the Mumbai Indians. And I have two people who instantly come to mind who are Trent Bolt and Will Jacks. Now Will Jacks was only they took Will Jacks for only an amount of 5.25 crores, and he is a really good batsman. He saved RCB last year to go into the playoffs. And Trent Bolt, everybody knows what he can do. He can play football in a cricket game. And a few more names that come to mind were probably Mitchell Satner, Ryan Rickleton and Reece Topley because of the low price they got him for and the experience they have, and they're obviously really good. Next, Punjab Kings. Now they had a lot of buys this season. They needed an entire squad revamp. Obviously, they would have had a lot of buys. But in my opinion, Marco Jansen and Glenn Maxwell are the best buys. Why Marco Jansen 7 crores? Now, Marco Jansen is a really good batsman as well as a bowler. He can open the power play. He can open the power play with Arshdeep Singh. He can open on it on his own. Lockie Ferguson can slot in into him, and he can literally take care of everything. He's a very, very complete all-rounder, as we saw in the India versus South Africa four game T20 ICDs. He batted really nicely as well, and he's done well for SRH at time to time as well. And I think for 7 crores, it's a really nice budget signing. Now, another budget signing which comes to mind is Glenn Maxwell, who only went for 4.2 crores. But that doesn't mean he's not a good player. He is a really good player. He has showed us what he can do at the World Cup at many stages. Even though the last IPL he didn't even reach 100 runs. I believe in Glenn Maxwell. He's played at Punjab Kings before and he can prove himself as well. The next team, Rajasthan Royals, the two best in my opinion are the Sri Lankan spinners, Wanindu Hasaranga and Tikshana. Now, Wanindu Hasaranga and Tikshana, they got them for a low price of 9.65 crores. Two quality spinners here. Now, Hasaranga got injured last year as SRH. Before that, played for RCB. Mahesh Tiksana played for CSK for like the past 2 years, I'm pretty sure. Was solid for them. Both solid Sri Lankan spinners, and their spin department is now set, along with Nitish Rana, who can bowl an over or two as well. Next, let's go to Royal Challengers Bengaluru, guys. Now, in my opinion, the two best buys of this team were Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Tim David. Now, Tim David is because he's a really good batsman, and just at 3 crores is actually mad for Tim David. Because again, they could have actually bought Jimmy Anderson, which would have been nice, which would have been probably in my best signings for Bengaluru. However, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is a good replacement, and Tim David just at 3 crores, nice finisher. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, obviously we know what he can do, the swing king, like the old swing king, and yeah, he's done really well. Sunrisers Hyderabad now. The two best signings were the top two most expensive in my opinion, Ishan Kishan and Mohammad Shami. Now, you might say stuff like overpriced, Ishan Kishan should be an MI, Mohammad Shami should be PVKs, all of that. But I feel like these both were pulled out of nowhere and were the best signings the SRH could have made that we didn't know yet. Why? Firstly, Ishan Kishan, one of the best batsmen to not have a contract, which feels wrong in my opinion, because he's known as a pocket dynamo. He has a really nice strike rate. He should play in T20 internationals. Mohammad Shami here, everybody knows what Shami can do. He has shown at the World Cup there. If anybody remembers World Cup 2023, he was brought in at halfway and still became the highest wicket taker. He has the capability of doing that in IPL as well, in my opinion. So that is the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you agree with my opinion. If you don't, feel free to post your opinion in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.